but then you bite into this beautiful big ball and it's like it's like a rock and it's so dry, and I love dessert, and that is literally one of the first things that I tried and was just like, I'm not wasting any calories on this. Sorry. I feel like sandwiches are one of the most universal things to eat for many people in most countries. But when I moved to Germany, while sandwiches with different bread was quite standard, there were so many other foods that I either absolutely loved, absolutely despised, and that was disgusting, or things that I thought were disgusting that I slowly and gradually learned to love. So I thought today for our YouTube channel I'd lighten it up a bit and talk about some of the foods that I have tried, that I do not like, and that I don't think I'll ever like here in Germany. Sorry. Aber Sandwiches geht immer, ne? I forgot to say, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jenna. I'm an expat here in Germany and I've been living here since 2014. I am from Canada and moving to Germany was not easy. So I basically took this channel and my website lifeindusseldorf.com, and I am sharing all of my experiences, both the good, the bad, and the ugly, so that you can learn from them and not make the same crazy mistakes that I have. Funny enough, in a recent video about some wildly bizarre things as a Canadian moving to Germany, some really crazy culture shocks for me, I never mentioned food, but food was definitely one of them. I'll link that video up here if you're interested in checking it out. Otherwise, let's get started. So I feel like this has to be a kind of three-part series because there's so many things that I could add to this list of the things that I love, the things that I hate, and the things that I've hated but have grown to love here in Germany. So let's start off with the things that I've tried but I definitely will not try again. And I should start off by saying these are the things that I don't like. I'm not trying to bash or criticize the German cuisine here. There are so many things, so many foods that I love in Germany, actually more so than in Canada, that when I go home to Canada, I constantly miss all of the different German foods that I get here that I don't get back in Canada. So this is not saying that German food is bad by any means, and just wait, I will produce a video about all of the things that I love and all of the foods that I am obsessed with here in Germany, and that will come soon. However, today I figured let's have some fun with it. And maybe you guys can relate. Maybe you think I'm absolutely crazy and you're like, hey, this is delicious. Like, why would you say you hate it? But we all have different taste buds. I think a lot of North Americans might agree with me on some of the stuff, just because when you're raised eating something some way, then it's a little bit different when you move to a new country. There are also different names for some of the things that I'm going to mention depending on which region or which state you live in Germany. So if I say something like Knödel or something, some of you might think, that's not what you call it, but in NRV, here in Düsseldorf, this is what we call it. So it might be a little bit different, but I'll show you guys some videos and pictures as often as I can so that you get a better idea of exactly what it is I'm talking about. So let's start off with the almighty Mettbrötchen. I cringe when I see people eating this, and this is going to be the only thing on the list that I have to be honest, I haven't even tried, and judge me all you want. I know I'm gonna get numerous comments being like, how can you say you hate it when you haven't even tried it? But it's just one of those things that when I look at it, I can't even bring myself to put it in my mouth. And I've mentioned in other videos that I don't eat much meat. All I eat is chicken. I call myself a chicketarian, so that makes sense why I wouldn't eat Mettbrötchen, but I also, if I ate meat, I wouldn't eat it either. So Mettbrötchen, if you don't know, is a raw minced meat on a piece of bread. It smells not so nice and it doesn't look any nicer, and it's just something I cannot and will not bring myself to try. However, when people come and visit me here in Düsseldorf from Canada, that is like one of the first things I make them try, just because I find it so entertaining watching other people eat it. I am super interested to know, have any of you tried it, and do any of you actually absolutely love it, and why? Glühwein. Glühwein is something that isn't actually German. I believe it was discovered by the Romans, and they made Glühwein from the old wine that was about to go stale by just adding some nice Christmas spices to it, and we call it mulled wine in English, but Glühwein is also part of German culture around the Christmas season. And the first time I actually had it was in Germany, and so the first few times I had it, I tried it and thought, yeah, you know, this is good, but it wasn't amazing. And then every year that the Christmas markets come back, I always try to have one, and then I found that I liked white Glühwein better than red because it wasn't as sweet or as heavy. Maybe it's definitely sweeter, but it wasn't as heavy. But over the course of living here in Germany, that's something that I actually used to like, but I've really grown to dislike. And so now every time Christmas rolls around, I'm always trying to make some new exciting cocktails that are a little bit different than mulled wine or Glühwein, because I just don't like it. I know that sounds really weird because I know a lot of people love it, but it's just not my thing. I love pancakes. I love pancakes so much that I have like my mom's secret recipe, and I make it every Saturday or Sunday for my son, the Canadian style pancakes. And I'll show you a picture here. I've literally made pancakes, like a stack of like 50 of them before, because I am so obsessed with pancakes. I find it hard though. I'm on like this pancake mission here in Germany. I don't know if any other North Americans are doing the same thing as me, but I've literally gone to every single place in the city and in other cities that I visit to try to find the best pancakes here in Germany, because I still have yet to find classic North American style pancakes. I really wish we had like a classic American breakfast joint here in Düsseldorf, but we don't. So if anybody knows some really awesome American style breakfast joints, please let me know in the comment section below, because I'm dying to find some like really genuinely delicious North American style pancakes. However, I find savory pancakes in Germany are so popular, sometimes more popular than the sweet pancakes. And even the sweet pancakes that they make in Germany usually don't have sugar in the batter. They just like put some powdered sugar over top with some neatly cut apple slices on top, and it looks amazing, but I always find that the batter of the actual pancake is not sweet enough. And the savory pancakes to me are just like, it boggles my mind. It's like, it sounds good, but then I think when you're so obsessed with like nice, delicious North American breakfast pancakes with maple syrup and eggs and bacon and everything, you know, it's just blah. I have a huge sweet tooth, if you haven't already figured that out. But one time we were in Rottenberg ob der Tauber, I hope I said that right, and they are kind of famous for these Schneebällchen or snowballs. And basically like this shortbread or cookie batter that they cut into long strips and then keep wrapping into this nicely formed, beautiful looking ball covered in either powdered sugar or Nutella or caramel sauce or whatever it is. They cover it in the most delicious toppings and it looks absolutely amazing. But then you bite into this beautiful big ball and it's like it's like a rock and it's so dry, and I love dessert, and that is literally one of the first things that I tried and was just like, I'm not wasting any calories on this. Sorry. Here's another sweet one for you, spaghetti ice. I think the concept is really cool. You know, you squeeze vanilla ice cream through a spaghetti press so it looks like, and then you snip it so it looks like you got a nice lovely bowl of spaghetti, and you put the tomato sauce on, which is not actually tomato sauce but some nice strawberry sauce, and then you sprinkle it with a little cheese, which is not cheese but shaved white chocolate topping, and it looks really cool. I think it's kind of weird. I don't particularly like vanilla ice cream with strawberry sauce anyway, but the whole look of it being spaghetti but it's not actually spaghetti, something like goes on in my mind and is like, ew, don't eat that. So Berlin's favorite currywurst. I've had vegetarian currywurst, so I know that that doesn't count, but it's not the actual wurst that I don't like. I mean, I don't eat wurst, but it's the curry ketchup on top. And I find that even ketchup in general in Germany is not the same as in Canada. It's either, in Germany it's either too sweet or it's got curry in it, or it just doesn't taste the same. I don't know. I think I just grew up loving Heinz ketchup in Canada, and the normal brand ketchup here just tastes so funky to me. But I know that they do have Heinz ketchup here, so that's an easy one to substitute. Herring salad. Herring salad. This is another one, kind of like Mettbrötchen, where I'm just like, blah, like I've put it in my mouth. I didn't really swallow it. I find the sauce to be not so nice. It's like a creamy mayo raw onion mix with raw herring fish inside, and the herring's all slimy, and my husband puts it on like brötchen and blah, I just like, oh no. I get like goosebumps thinking about it. No, it's just not my thing. So in Canada, we use something called marzipan, and we usually use it to top a cake. So if you're making a wedding cake and you want it to be perfectly smooth and flat so that you can put beautiful flowers or a beautiful little topping on the cake, you would use a nice layer of marzipan so that everything looks nice, neat, and tidy on the cake. Usually I pick that marzipan layer off and throw it in the garbage, but here in Germany, they use marzipan in so many desserts year round, and then when Christmas comes, they really like amp it up to 10, you know, like full-blown marzipan everywhere. They have like marzipan bowls, they have marzipan-filled cookies, marzipan-filled cakes. They just have like everything with marzipan in it, and I think marzipan is disgusting. I hope that you guys don't think that I'm just like whining through this video. I just thought it would be a fun video to make so that you can either relate or totally disagree and call me crazy, because it's just, food is such a fun topic to talk about, especially in Germany, because there's just so much to hate and so much to love and so much to be like, I don't know if I love it, I might love it. It's just a fun topic, so please don't hate me. I really, really love living in Germany, and this is by no means complaining about German food. It's just a few things that don't really tickle my fancy, so to say. And if you've liked my videos so far and you've checked out some of the other ones, I've noticed that a ton of you have watched my videos, and thank you so, so much. If you'd like to continue supporting me, make sure to click that subscribe button. And don't forget to click on the bell notification if you want to know when I have new premieres coming out and new videos coming to you. So let's continue, shall we? Schwarzwälder Kirschtorte was something that was really popular when I lived back in Freiburg, and it was everywhere at every restaurant for dessert. I don't like it. I really don't. And I think it might be because the cherry filling inside tastes a little bit like liqueur, and I'm not really a huge fan of like liqueur filled candies or cakes or anything, so I find that that's just like so potent and it takes over the whole flavor of the cake, and so it's not my favorite. I mean, there are so many good cakes out there in Germany that I just feel like that's kind of on the back burner for like if I really need something sugary and that's the only thing left in my fridge, then I will eat it. And just to bring it all back full circle to my sandwich conversation there at the beginning, I'm not a huge fan of having sandwiches for breakfast. I really love sandwiches for lunch, but as a Canadian, that's not something that is typically normal for breakfast. We would have maybe on a Sunday morning or Saturday morning a big breakfast with scrambled eggs and French toast and bacon and home fries and all of these different really like fettsack, you know, fat, oily foods on our plate that are amazing for a hangover, by the way. But I love breakfast. I'm a huge breakfast person, so I always feel like by having sandwiches for breakfast, I'm skipping the best part of the day. So that's all for me. Viel nochmal, vielen lieben Dank und bis später.